Right. You hear these athletes talking about, yeah, we was out there tricking. What? Why? You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. Stop paying people that you don't have no respect for. It sets it up bad for us. We got women out here can't find a man because they acting like him. You are alpha. Now the alphas all want these subservient husbands. You can't have one.
No. That ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen. Sorry about that. Okay, go ahead. Boy, you done got me canceled how many times in this program?
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it.
Hello? Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were.
Now, now, a woman that got a job walk, with security. Am I right or wrong? You know what I'm saying? They walking to the nightclub going, honey, I don't give a fuck, I don't meet nobody nowhere. Because I'm going to the credit union tomorrow. I don't need nobody to tell me shit. I buy my own damn shit. That's right. And that's the kind I want to meet.
Man, yes, sir.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town? I can't hear you.
You're not gonna hate man. You're just a flightless bird.
Because P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no.
Okay? Don't ever. I cannot believe it.
Just let it go. Read, dog.
Yeah. Give me some love, baby.
Pussy whip. Read my lips. You ain't no player.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's night class. For all of those who don't know what we do over here, we teach brothers how to deal with these women, how to tell if women have bad butts, how to disqualify and qualify the sisters, how to show love to my brother Real Talk Single Fathers. What's good? My gladiator went out. She said, who cares if it's the truth or not? She said she went to go sing happy birthday to her nephew, went to her mama house. We cooking. Okay? Now, for anybody that's interested in how to tell if women have bad box, we just gonna get right into it because we don't know when the bitch coming back. So it is what it is. Let's go.
Confessions from a PCOS girlie. Men, leave the room, okay? Just exit. I will be goodbye. This is specifically for PCOS girlies. So I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was 19 years old, right? So I did not get my cycle maybe once a year, okay? So I went on this whole health and wellness journey. I lost like 65 pounds, started getting my cycle regularly, and it's been a couple of years, right? A couple of years. I will never get used to this. I'm over it. It's terrible. I don't know how some of you guys have been doing this since you were 10, 11, 12. Like, what? And my friends are probably sick of me because I whine to them every single month. And they're like, girl, we've been doing this, but you don't understand. It's only been a couple of years. This still feels very new to me, and I'm completely over it. I don't want it. And on top of that, I'm getting old, so I'm probably perimenopausal. My skin is a hot mess. I've never seen pimples and breakouts on my face a day in my life. And then you worry about like health concerns, and I used to use tampons, and I'm like, you know what? Let's stop using tampons. I stopped using tampons, and yes, my cramps are way less now that I don't use tampons. And now you walk around feeling like you have a diaper on, and I'm just like hyper aware, and I don't like it.
She don't like it, son. When these women are dealt with all these different areas of the box, it really puts them in a bad state of mind. Now, what was the key? What was the key to the video? This was a bad sign. This will let you know she ain't shit. Look, men leave the room. Why would you want men to leave the room?
Confessions from a PCOS girly. Men, leave the room, okay? Just.
We don't do that. This is the time that you want men to be there to learn.
Confessions from a PCOS girly. Men, okay? Just exit. I will wait. Goodbye. This is specifically for PCOS girlies.
That's crazy, right? How's this just for the girlies when we're the ones that you're shopping the box to? We want to be able to tell if you got bad box. So what does she do to help us? She tells us how having bad box makes her feel. Let's go.
So I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was 19 years old, right? So
she was 19 years old. Okay. So that's a long time. You know, let's go.
I did not get my cycle maybe once a year.
She got her cycle once a year, but she would still make love to you brothers out there, knowing she has a condition that she hasn't looked at. Why? This is when the class begins. Why? Oh boy, here we go. Y'all done pissed Real Talk single fathers off. Why? Because she know men don't care. She know that she could make sure she takes some leave and shit. I had bitches that took oxycodone, and I always wondered why. Y'all done been through a lot, man. I had a bitch one time out there in Co-op City. She like I had this dude that I went to elementary school. He ended up being like this oxy dude. And she said, yo, I want some oxygen. I was like, for what? But she ain't really say much. I said, well, I know somebody I could get one from. So I got like one from the nigga. And she took the shit. And then I made love to the bitch. And she was like, I guess happy. I don't know what happened, man, until I got older. Because she's like, yo, get another one from that guy. I don't know what the bitch had. Until I got older.
Let's see here, okay? So I went on this whole health and wellness journey.
Pay attention, guys. I know I overtalked the last point, but this point is important. If you're ever on YouTube or if you're anywhere in the world, but a lot of times it be on the internet where you see black women on health and wellness journeys, don't think they're trying to get their life together just because. These are key points, class. These are key points. Bitch sitting, you and a bitch sitting around, she say her stomach hurt, or you hear a bitch talking about she's on a health and wellness journey. All this shit got everything to do with pussy. It's horrible.
Maybe once a year, okay?
Got her period once a year and decided to go on a health and wellness journey. Why, class? Because we always try to tell these bitches you must have a good diet to have a good pussy. You can't have seafood boils and all this stuff.
On this whole health and wellness journey, I lost like 65 pounds, started getting my cycle regularly, and it's been a couple of years, right? A couple of years. I will never get used to this. I'm over it. It's terrible. I don't know how some of you guys have been doing this since you were 10, 11, 12. Like, what? And my friends are probably sick of me because I whine to them every single month. And they're like, girl, we've been doing this, but you don't understand. It's only been a couple of years. This still feels very new to me, and I'm completely over it. I don't want it. And on top of that, I'm getting old, so I'm probably...
Oh, man, here we go. Yes, there's a medical term called PCOS belly. Damn.
Perimenopausal, my skin is a hot mess. I've never seen so many pimples.
All right, let's move on. Let's get to this other girl real quick. She putting on a show.
Your hormones are all over the place, and you can be happy, sad, excited, all in one.
These are the faces that I want brothers to see. I don't want you to get out here and just think these bitches are popping like that. It's far from the truth.
I did not think my first video on here would be me crying, but here I am.
Now, what is one of the key signs of PCOS, class? One of the key signs is this peach fuzz. When you see any sort of hair around the mouth, any sort of hair, that's PCOS.
Crying because having PCOS is so hard. And I feel like nobody understands.
Nobody understands. You want to know why? I never realized there were so many women with bad box until I got on your YouTube channel. One love. You know how we do. You know how we do, son. Let's do how we do.
Man, yes, sir.
So the story is like this. Here's the story. You're never going to hear this story outside. And it's weird because they put it right out here. So what does that tell you? That tells you that men are the ones that's not informed. Okay. And what does that tell you after that? If men are not informed about this sort of box scenario that taps into the mental, as I'm showing you, as it taps into the mental, right? They don't know nothing about a woman. Because the thing that they're using to trap you, they know it's fucked up. They'll take a leave and all sorts of things to fuck you and see if it works.
And I don't know what to do anymore. I'm trying everything, but it's so hard. Like, it's bigger than eating better and working out. Like, I don't have the energy to do any of that. And I still have to function every day and be an adult and take care of myself.
That's why we was telling you, especially you overweight black bitches, why would you act like you're Beyonce? You supposed, especially big ugly bitches, you supposed to cater to men. Niggas is, you supposed to be them women that always get played by a man, or one man takes you dead serious because you have nothing to offer but goodness. You know your box is not the best to make it nice. So you shouldn't have to worry about getting up, going to be adult. You should be kissing some man's ass.
And this is so hard, and I just don't know what to do anymore. I didn't mean to come on here and cry.
Ma'am, are you taking any questions? Do you think you should be kissing a man's ass knowing you're a woman with a fucking full mustache and a goatee and your pussy bad and it makes you cry? Only thing that could make you feel better is a man that's going to love on you with all of your transgressions.
But I just really, I don't know what to do. I'm like, okay, I'll get a trainer, but like that's expensive. So, you know, it's not something I could fit in my budget right now.
Uh-oh. Yo, Real Talk Single Father, she said something about money. That's going to segue us into something else. Watch this, homie. They talking about money. Watch this.
So we chose IVF because I had a friend that said you should just look into it, see if your husband pays for it.
Hey, remember, they're talking about money. So the other dumb bitch, she ain't got no man with her bad pussy. Look what this bitch did with her bad pussy.
So we chose IVF because I had a friend that said you should just look into it, see if your husband pays for it on insurance. And so when I found out that his company paid for it at 100%,
Ding, 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 ding.
I was like, it's a no-brainer. Like, we weren't necessarily trying because a lot of people think you only do IVF if you can't have children. But really, I found out, as soon as I started this journey, I found out women that just do it because they want to save their eggs and have babies when they want to have babies. So we did it. I'm 35, so it's time.
It was a sense of urgency because of her age, being 35, and we want multiple kids. So,
And I have other projects happening, and kids are in the way.
Guys, I try to show you how these people are. So all I'm trying to show you, man. I know you can handle it from there.
Can't have children.
Ding, 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 ding.
I was like, it's a no-brainer. Pay for it on insurance. And so when I found out that his company paid for it at 100%,
Ding, 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 ding.
I was like, it's a no-brainer. Like, we weren't necessarily trying, because a lot of people think you only do IVF.
Hey, real talk, single fathers. One of my OGs told me years ago that these women quick to give you head and go crazy with the network because their box is trash. Well, I'm 50-50 on that. I'm 50-50 on that, because one thing that we say, hey, it's two ways we say it, but the main way that we say it is, you giving me head, right? You giving me head. I'm not able to touch your soul like that. Whether you got good box or bad box, I want to put this work in on you. I want your ass to work. So even after all that sloppy toppy, I still want you to work. I don't give a fuck how much you go to the gym. You gonna work. We're gonna put that work in on your body. You're gonna get that body massage.
If you can't have children. But really, I found out, as soon as I started this journey, I found out women that just do it because they want to save their eggs and have babies when they want to have babies.
So she found out, she told this dumbass nigga with no Pussycat Facts report that I just want to have children when I'm ready. I'm in my 30s. So we going to go do an IVF. Why? Because his insurance pays 100%. Listen.
So we did it. I'm 35, so it's time.
It was a sense of urgency because of her age being 35. And
it was a sense of urgency because of her age being 35. Now, my class knows a little better than that. Okay? A sense of urgency that she put this man through. Because she's 35. Clearly, she wasted her whole 20s not having a child. And she damn sure didn't keep her weight in order. Let's go.
And we want multiple kids. So
and I have other projects happening, and kids are in the way.
Don't say they in the way.
Well, they are. Like, you can't, baby. Come on now.
Nah, but so that's really why we got it. Sense of urgency.
Yeah, sense of urgency
to get pregnant because we know we want multiple kids, and because my insurance paid for it. Thank God.
The man, this clown ass nigga. Pay attention, class. This clown ass nigga said, thank God that my insurance paid for me to get my girl pregnant, not my eggplant. Something that don't cost you a penny, son. It don't cost you a penny to go knock a bitch up. Not one penny. You know, if she like you and everything and you fuck her raw and you knock up, it don't cost you a penny. Now, if you go to the hotel and all that, that's different. But you do not have to pay no $10,000 and $20,000 to have a child. What black man grew up saying, yo, when I grow up, I'm going to make sure I got some money because I'm going to have to pay for my bitch to be pregnant? Who the fuck grows up like that?
So that's really why we got it. Sense of urgency.
Yeah, sense of urgency.
To get pregnant because we know we want multiple kids, and because my insurance paid for it. Thank you.
Class. She's 35. They're having an IVF. He can't fuck her and get her pregnant. And she got the nigga in the trick bag saying she wants to have multiple kids after 35. Now, that's not the problem. The question, class, is does she care about what type of kids that she gives him? That's the question. Does she care about what type of kids that she give him? I mean, autistic, handicapped, deformed. Does she care?
God, hallelujah.
We only came out of pocket $3,500.
We only came out of pocket with $3,500 cash for me to be pregnant. The insurance covers the rest. That's why I told you the shit was like 10, 20,000. They only came out of pocket with $3,500. That's a good man.
To get pregnant because we know we want multiple kids, and because my insurance paid for it. Thank God. Hallelujah.
We only came out of pocket
Just a little bit.
$3,500.
Yeah.
Which is nothing because most people pay about $35 to $50K.
35 to 50K to get this bitch pregnant. I was thinking of the same thing. Like, what if the child has autism? Dog, they never talk about that side of the story. Now, we love the children, but that's where all this stuff come from. You're having a scientific baby. This is not natural. This is science. Yes, it's biology, but it's science.
Yeah.
So $3,500 feel like $1.
$3,500 felt like $1 for me to get inseminated, and my man can't fuck me and get me pregnant.
Just a little bit.
$3,500.
Yeah.
Which is nothing because most people pay about $35 to $50K.
Most people pay 35 to 50K for the IVF. Let me tell you why. Because they try to ensure that you'll have a healthy child. Now, why do we say that don't always work? Because of the donor. Now, K. Michelle, she had like seven different egg ignitions. Some of them was fucked up. Some of them, she wanted a girl. She kept having boys. So the money starts to add up.
Yeah.
So $3,500 feel like $1. So the pregnancy for me has been a complete breeze. Sometimes I feel guilty because most people have.
Yeah, no, I would say first trimester. So we telling them, and then I would say second trimester, which we just kind of wrapped up. It was a real sweet spot because she had her energy back. She was moving and grooving. Appetite increased. That was something.
He says I eat all the time.
Well, more than usual. Understanding that you used to eat like twice a day. But she has to eat now, obviously, because of the baby. Yeah. And, little hormones here and there. Can I be real with the people?
He's saying I've been a lot.
Can I be real with the people? Pray for me, y'all.
What you need to pray for? Okay, next question. The most uncomfortable thing about IVF is people's reaction to IVF. Like
Now, this is important. The most important thing about IVF is not the fact that I'm doing some science shit. It's the fact that other people say, well, damn, is your pussy fucked up? Why you can't just fuck like everybody else and have a baby? Now, why can't you? Why you got to spend all this money? So she's more upset over that than actually sticking needles in her belly and her man can't fuck her.
Well, okay, next question. The most
because if the man have sex with you, it could mess up the process, okay?
What you need to pray for? Okay, next question. The most uncomfortable thing about IVF is people's reaction to IVF, like their uncomfortability with IVF. It ain't mine, because I be wanting to tell the world.
Wow.
Because people think, oh, you couldn't have kids. No, I had the option to have some free fertilized eggs. So
I had the option to have some free fertilized eggs over this dude's insurance. And I got me a sucker that can't just fuck me and get me pregnant. I would rather him pay thousands and thousands of dollars. Class, I've taught you better than this. Don't ever let somebody lie to you, son. Don't ever let nobody lie to you about no pussy. She said I could get some free eggs that's going to take thousands and thousands of dollars plus $3,500 out of our pocket instead of him just fucking me. It does not make sense. It's an oxymoron. Why pay $50,000 for something that you could do for free? Something ain't right. Her pussy.
Because I be wanting to tell the world.
Wow.
Because people think, oh, you couldn't have kids. No, I had the option to have some free fertilized eggs. So I'm going to do this. So.
What were people saying?
Oh, y'all couldn't have kids.
Just like, that negative like, energy.
And then some people like, what is that? Like, they don't know.
Because a lot of people, especially our people.
Yeah.
Black people.
And then my
They may
dad's
not-
like, well, I know it's science, but I'm just gonna believe in God and pray. So,
Wait, that's his voice?
baby. Yes, that's his voice. So like people don't even know about it, but people who do, they just associate it with people who can't have babies. And that's not accurate.
Yes.
Now, class, I will ask you a question, class, and I demand an answer. Do this woman have a sucker? Yes, he's a good man, but does this woman have a sucker? That's all I'm asking. I mean, we could say, I want you to add on why, but is this man a sucker? Yes, he's a good man.
It's not our case for sure.
Yeah. And a lot of other people's case. So
Yeah.
it hasn't been uncomfortable for me. What about you?
Well, I'm not carrying the baby. Let me tell you exactly. I still have my feelings though.
Okay. But yeah, it hasn't been for me. But for other people, I think it has.
Yeah.
Injections.
So
For your butt. And I was like, I don't do needles. Even when I get blood drawn, I don't even look. So I didn't give myself.
Look at what she doing instead of getting fucked. But she gonna say she don't got bad pussy. She's just doing this freedom of choice. That shit don't make no sense. Remember, while she's injecting herself, he can't make love to her.
I don't do needles. Even when I get blood drawn, I don't even look. So I didn't give myself injections the first round because we did 2 rounds of IVF to get more eggs because Carlos and my doctor wanted more eggs. I was good with the little 2 or 3, but they wanted more.
Yeah.
Like we had 2 the first time.
Yeah, we had 2.
We had 2 the first time. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah. So the injection part. I mean, were you scared?
Yeah, I was super scared. I did numbing patches and all that kind of stuff, but my concierge nurse would not let me do it. She told me to try it without, and it was a breeze. Freaked out a little bit because we didn't know how to mix it.
Yeah.
But the actual injections itself didn't hurt.
So for people that don't know, the way it works is when you decide to do IVF, they send you home with all these medicines that you have to take. And the complicated part is sometimes you have to mix the medicine.
Talk to me, class. Talk to me, class. Do you think when you was growing up that you would have to sit there and watch your bitch do this for y'all to have a baby? And is that good for you or bad for you? Answer the damn question, class. This is night class. Let's cook. What man in my classroom thought that when he grew up, he would sit around and watch this bitch mix up chemicals to inject in herself so she could have a baby while she's with me? And I cannot fuck her while she's doing this because she's doing this to show that she's disciplined. You know, overweight but disciplined on doing this type of shit. Why is she doing this, class? Why she want to do all this? To have that baby for that man. Child support, you know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. I'm 50-50 on this guy. I think he's a good guy. Facts. Very stable and probably has a good job. Facts. Come from a medium-sized family. Facts. But he is a sucker. Ain't no man on God's green earth ever thought that he would have to, you know, when he was growing up, he had to get a bitch pregnant like this. You could get bitches on pregnant by mistake better than this, son.
Listen, so that it could be
Like a powder and a liquid.
so that it could be the right.
King disagreeable with the light check-in. Let's get it.
They just don't know. We keep treating these men like they are boys.
Solution. And if you're somebody that hasn't done it before, like us, you may not know how to do the right proportions of the medication so that it could be the right solution. So it was a little challenging, but what Ebony and I decided to do was we reached out to a nurse.
And she came into our
and
home.
she came into our home. Right.
These bitches had a purple-haired nurse come into their home and teach them how to get pregnant.
We reached out to a nurse.
Look at this bitch. Bitch, you can't come teach me shit. You a nurse. The only time I see your ass is when I'm in the hospital because I have to be there and you got to rock with me. I wouldn't rock with you by choice.
She came into our
and
home.
she came into our home, right? She walked us through everything and showed us how to do it. So if you are watching this video and it's something that you may be interested in, that's just something to consider. And
to have a nurse come to your house just to show you the first round so you're comfortable with it. But Carlos gave me the injections the first round.
Yeah.
And then I had to give myself injections for like 2 days when he was out of town.
She did so good, y'all. She was nervous. She was worried.
I was,
Give me
but
some.
I did it. You're supposed to grab my hand back.
That's a good man. You're looking at a good man in a bad box.
I would consider IVF for a few reasons. One, if you are single and you're like in your late 30s, I would.
What type of advice is this? Hold the fuck up. Why would you give this advice to somebody?
If you are IVF for a few reasons. One, if you are single and you're like in your late 30s, I would consider IVF. I would also consider IVF if you've had miscarriages, because during our process, we did genetic testing. So what that does is it tests the eggs after his sperm and my egg go together, and it hatches or fertilizes, whatever terminology that is. You can see what the strong ones are. So a lot of times when babies don't survive or the eggs don't survive, it's because it wasn't healthy. So I would do it if you had a lot of miscarriages. And then if you're older.
Well, when you say older,
38,
35,
39, 40.
On the upper side of 30s.
Yes. So at 35, there's another percentage of quality of egg drop. Like the number goes down at 35.
Okay. So that's what she used for this nigga. Well, I'm at 35 and my quality of eggs about to drop, bitch. Why you couldn't just get pregnant all the time he was fucking you then? Bitch, just to sit up here and lie. She's not really trying to help anybody. This shit is wild. Yeah, this dumbass nigga gonna get put on child support and he ain't even fucked the bitch to get her pregnant. Now, if that ain't a sucker, you tell me.
The number before 35, I think it was 20. I think it was 30 or 20.
30, yeah.
It was like 30, 35, and then before that was like 28.
I don't know.
The doctor gave us the numbers. But once you start getting up in age, that way you have options and you don't have to depend on like the stress of trying to get pregnant. You can just pop it in.
Yeah, no, I agree with her 100%. I mean, obviously it could be costly, which we understand that.
Check with your insurance first. If it costs money, pray about it and put a prayer on it.
Right. If you can afford it, I would say IVF because everything she said, it's super efficient. It's something that you can do and they walk you through the whole process and you're able to.
So did y'all hear that? IVF is super efficient, more efficient than the black woman. Okay, we're not going to just gloss over that. The IVF is more efficient than his black woman. Nobody, she don't want to hear that. No. This is what's the truth.
If you can afford it, I would say IVF because everything she said, it's super efficient. It's something that you can do and they walk you through the whole process. And
unbelievable. IVF spending $50,000, $30,000 is more efficient than this bitch free black pussy.
You're able to track the quality of the eggs, everything she said.
If you do genetic testing. Some people don't do genetic testing because it costs more, but we did genetic testing.
Yeah. First baby. First comes love, then comes marriage.
Well, first off, what are we having?
We're having a girl.
We don't know if that. Don't laugh at this, y'all. We don't know if that baby autistic. We don't know shit. All we know is her pussy couldn't get pregnant by regular sex, and we've studied enough. Okay. And they call it that IVF is more efficient. Yes, I would agree. More efficient than her pussy. It is what it is, man. No, sorry, guys. You get the point. Bitch, yo, the bitch ran up $50,000 on that man's insurance. And $3,500 out of pocket. And that bitch was like, yo, that shit wasn't nothing to me. It's crazy that you talking about this because I was watching a documentary on the tilapia fish. Right. And how they switched the sex of the male and the female tilapia. Yeah. I'm glad people don't eat that shit. My brother BT is in the building. That man's an expert. He's an expert.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were.
Man, yes, sir.
The area where I live is not conducive to healthy eating.
Whoa. Yo, the bitch said the area where I live is not conducive to healthy eating. What the fuck does that mean? Yo, these people are batshit crazy. Now, her pussy is bad, and they've been telling her it has everything to do with your diet. And she's blaming the neighborhood why she can't go to the grocery store and eat right.
Thing I can fit in my budget right now. The area where I live is not conducive to healthy eating. I don't have the energy to go to an area that has healthier food and bring that food home to cook me a meal every day, 3 times a day, on top of working from home, on top of trying to get my master's, on top of doing my homework. And so, like, if I don't do anything, then it just gets worse. And if it gets worse, like, what I'm feeling right now triples. And I'm just sick of it. This is the worst thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. And I don't know what to do about it. I can't even enjoy simple things anymore. I hate going outside because none of my clothes fit. And I'm trying so hard. Like, I don't want to be complaining without doing anything, but, like, I don't know anymore. I really don't.
There you have it, guys. Yeah, y'all niggas ain't shit. None of this stuff is funny, man. These people are crying. You guys have no fucking heart. You hear me? You guys are something rough, man. I tell you, bro. You niggas have no heart. You niggas are something else, man.
Hello, my lovelies. Sorry for looking so crazy right now. I just wanted to come and share a little bit of what's been going on with me. So I've been kind of inactive the last week or so, and it's been because I have been dealing with a new diagnosis I just got. So I have been diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS. It's a hormonal condition that affects about 10% of women. And it's been a lot to deal with as I question my own fertility and reproductive health, something that I've taken really seriously for most of my life. From what I've been reading, it's really complex, and I've just been feeling really overwhelmed, and my doctor hasn't been very much help. Usually on Thursdays, I post my Climate Talk Thursdays, but I just couldn't muster up a smile today. And I have a lot of really awesome content planned for the future, and hopefully I'll be able to share more of my story for other people suffering with this condition. And I just want to say hello to you. Hello, my lovelies. Sorry.
Right. It's tough out here, players. All right. Let's go here.
So the Holy Spirit just convicted me something terrible, and I'm gonna share with y'all what happened. And if y'all hear some snoring in the background, it's my 2-year-old. But if you think I'm gonna risk waking him up by going in the house, so anyway, we just came home from church, and I had a little bit of a stressful moment at church because y'all know 2-year-olds go 2-year-old, and most of all they disrespectful. And so he started cutting up, especially because it was close to his nap time. And what made me sad though was I was saying it would be easier to handle if his dad was there. For those that don't know, I used to be married, we divorced, and that's just that on that. And so now that I have gone back to regular church attendance, clearly my baby's coming with me, but it's just me and him. And when he was created, I definitely never thought that this would be my journey. You start off the pregnancy, marry, and then next thing you know, you single again. It's like I did it the right way, and I'm still okay. Anyway, the point is when he started getting frustrated during service, I started feeling sorry for myself because life didn't end up the way that I thought or that I planned for it to. But watch this though. I remember the day when I was 27 years old. I went to the doctor because I thought I was pregnant because my period stopped. But I left out of their office with a diagnosis called PCOS. If you don't know what that is, it's polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Yo, son, you know she drawing child support. The baby 2 years old. You know she getting child support out of that man. Fucking horrible person. Come on, man. Come on, man.
If you don't know what that is, it's for myself because life didn't end up the way that I thought or that I planned for it to. But watch this though. I remember the day when I was 27 years old. I went to the doctor because I thought I was pregnant because my period stopped. But I left out of their office.
Pay attention, guys. You niggas miss class. You just missed the damn story right before your fucking ears. When she was 27, her baby's 2. She was 27 a while ago. Her baby is 2. So when she was 27, the doctor told her, bitch, you got bad box. So she gave that box to that man, knowing it was bad, got pregnant. We don't know the conditions of the baby. Hopefully all is well. She was lucky to get that baby. And now she threw him on child support. Let's go.
Because life didn't end up the way that I thought or that I planned for it to. But watch this though. I remember the day when I was 27 years old. I went to the doctor because I thought I was pregnant because my period stopped. But I left out of their office with a diagnosis called PCOS. If you don't know what that is, it's polycystic ovarian syndrome. It affects different people different ways. But for me, all ovulation stopped. And if you're not ovulating, one thing you cannot do is get pregnant. Okay, so I remember when I got that diagnosis, the heartbreak and the fear that I felt at the thought of never being able to have a child. Fast forward 12 years later. My baby's in the back, knocked out. I ain't gonna put him on camera like that.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know it wasn't because of you. It was because of that man. And you still put that nigga on child support. Unbelievable.
He's in the back, knocked out, snoring hard, living his best life where his biggest point of stress is having to lay down for 2 minutes to get his diaper changed. Well, we can start probably trying to do something. But anyway, the point is I was at church crying because my previous marriage ended. And I was at church with my baby by myself. And that is not how I thought my life would turn out. But in reality, I should have just been grateful for the moment. There was a day I thought that he would never even exist.
There you go, guys. That's a different type of fleece you saw here. She was fucking that man and marrying that man, knowing she couldn't even have babies. The bitch got lucky, son. And she put that nigga on child support. That's a horrible person right there. That man defied the odds with her. See?
God is so good.
They had the lucky mix.
I just got done crying. I wanted to make a video of the feelings that you go through after a diagnosis. First I felt like, wow, I'm not crazy. I'm validated. But I just cried, and when I was crying, I was saying, like, I don't want to have this. I don't want to have this. I just got a haircut. It's wet, and it looks not that good because it's wet. But when my hairdresser, when she was doing my hair, she, like, likes health, and I was telling her, like, have you heard of PCOS? She was like, oh, yeah. I told her I have it. And she was like, yeah, one of my clients had it, too. And one of the symptoms is you lose your hair, right? You have a lot of hair loss. And I was like, yeah, that could be one of them. And she was like, yeah, I had to like install like I gave her a wig. And then she was like doing my hair, doing the layers, and she was like, it doesn't look like you have that problem though. And I was like, yeah, no, I hope I never do. And then she was like, I think sometimes that happens when you're older. I don't know. I don't want that. And I'm just so paranoid. I'm so paranoid about my diet now. I was already before, but like now, I'm like even more paranoid. And oh my god, I'm like shaking. Anyways, it could be worse. It could be way worse. Like it's not like I have cancer or I have, it could be way worse. But like, is it stupid to say things like, I don't want to lose my hair, I don't want to have a high testosterone, and I notice, like, I don't know if anybody else does, but I notice my skin is not like soft estrogen skin. I don't get that. Like, I'm insulin resistant now. I don't want to be that annoying person that's like, I don't need that, even though I kind of already am. I'm gonna be that way.
Yo, I told y'all about that the other day. That they mismanage their pussy so bad because they want to eat. They want to go on the girls' trip and eat what everyone else eats. Okay? You can't do that. You don't have the good pussy like the rest of them. So you have to, like, you know, eat different. And this is the type of shit they go through. She's pissed, but she knows that you men don't know, so she can still fuck you. But she also knows that if you men do know, you'll fuck her. You see?
High testosterone, and I notice, like, I don't know if anybody else does, but I notice my skin is not like soft estrogen skin. I don't get that.
Hey, BT, now you get it, BT, you get it now. Basically, she gave that man bad box knowingly that wasn't supposed to have any babies. He was the lucky miracle. Now she done put that man on child support. Yes.
Like, I'm insulin resistant now. I don't want to be that annoying person that's like, I don't need that, even though I kind of already am. I'm going to be that way more. And I'm thinking of just going like full carnivore diet. I don't know. And I the only thing that I'm thinking about is researching things 24/7. And like when I did my little workout today, body weight workout for 25 minutes, I was like, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Like, am I so out of shape now? I don't know. I just had a moment where I don't want to have this. But it's happening. And I don't want it to get worse when I'm older. I don't know. So many unknowns. I'm sweating. Okay? Talking about it made me feel better. Thanks for listening.
That's what a bad box diagnosis will do for you, class. You understand me? That's what a bad box diagnosis does to the woman's mental. It's not for us not to have the box. We supposed to get that box and then learn about it in little tricky ways so that, you know, the only thing that she could fall back on, it's two things she could fall back on. She could fall back on, one is, hey, she can just be a sex toy for somebody. But she ain't going to do that. She's going to do the other one. She's going to go to somebody else who does not know that, you know, nobody, she's going to go to somebody who does not have a Pussycat Facts report on her. So she can lie and hide. Okay?
I had an ultrasound on Monday, and I just got the results back today, and ironically, I'm actually really glad that they found something abnormal. I've been struggling for years with PCOS-like symptoms, cystic acne, pelvic pain, everything. And for years, doctors have told me that they can't find anything, they don't see anything, they don't know what's wrong, they don't know. And it's been really frustrating. I have cried so many times over this and tried so many different ways to treat myself and my symptoms by myself. And so to finally receive validation that actually there is something wrong and actually I do have a cyst on my ovary, it's not good news, obviously, but like it does make me feel a lot better. So if you're struggling with PCOS, please don't lose hope. Keep trusting your gut. Keep advocating for yourself.
You hear that? It's not a game, players.
Okay. This is something that I don't really
It's not a game, guys.
talk about a lot. Close friends and close family know that my husband and I have been struggling with fertility practically since we got married.
Struggling with fertility practically since they got married. See that, BT? Another woman fleecing a man. They all don't get lucky like that bitch. Let's go.
She got married in 2019. Had testing done, and it's me, it's not him. And
Had testing done, it's me, it's not him. I told y'all the story before. These bitches are so horrible, right? That once y'all ain't getting pregnant, she'll try to bring you into it. Yo, you get tested too. And guess what? She wish it was you, nigga. She wish it was you, nigga. Don't you get it, players? What the yo? Did you hear this horrible bitch? We got it tested. It was me and not him. Right. You're the dud.
19. Had testing done, and it's me, it's not him. And just the little things will trigger you out of nowhere. Just scrolling through TikTok, and I saw a baby announcement that had a golden retriever move his paws, and it was a sonogram, and I just started crying because I want that so much. I want to be able to do an announcement. I want my dogs to have a sibling.
Hey, yo, son. She can't cash in. She can't cash in, son. She can't cash in. And she know that man is got every right to leave her ass. She is pissed.
Had testing done, and it's me, it's not him. And just the little things will trigger you out of nowhere. Just scrolling through TikTok, and I saw a baby announcement that had a golden retriever move his paws, and it was a sonogram, and I just started crying because I want that so much. I want to be able to do and I want my dogs to have a sibling, a human sibling, and I know that sounds so stupid, but it's literally the littlest things that just get to you, and now I just can't stop crying. I'm gonna call my husband.
There you go, guys. You're not supposed to laugh at this type of shit. You heard?
I just wanted to come on here and do a 1-month post-PCOS flare-up update and tell you guys how I'm feeling since I reduced all the high sugar fruit, since I went back to low carb.
Pay attention, guys. What have you learned tonight in dealing with PCOS? Diet. And what do you bet that the black women and the women in the modern society can change their diet and be serious about it? Because it ain't really bad. You could just eat regular shit we grew up on. I don't see what happened to these people. But what the problem is they don't know that men know. They don't know that men know. Bitch, you eat like that, your pussy ain't shit.
Just want to come on here and do a 1-month post-PCOS flare-up update and tell you guys how I'm feeling since I reduced all the high sugar fruit, since I went back to low carb, started prioritizing my sleep again, I started retaking my Ovasitol supplement, and the inflammation in my body has gone down so much, in particular in my stomach. And I want to show you. You guys remember how bad it was in that video? We're doing so much better now. I still have 60 pounds of weight gain from my PCOS that I am slowly working to try and get off, but it is so much harder to lose weight when you have PCOS, and it's so easy to gain. If you know the struggle, I'm so sorry. But in the last 12 months, I have gone down 25 pounds, which is huge for me because all I have been doing for the past 4 years is piling on more weight. And if you're curious to know what changes I made, I would love to do a separate video on that.
Okay, so this gets to be a story time because of how ironic it is. I actually found out I had PCOS based on the same 420 cancer situation. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, I always had very, like, let's say mannish structures, like broad shoulders, those kind of things, but so do a lot of the women in my mother's side of the family. So we never really...
Pay attention, class. Pay attention, class. Class, pay attention. The bitch said, I got all these manly features. I know the video might be playing a little fast, but the bitch said, I got all these manly features. And she was like, nah, it's all good because all the bitches on my mother's side look like men as well.
I actually found out I had PCOS based on the same 420 cancer situation. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, I always had very, like, let's say mannish structures, like broad shoulders, those kind of things, but so do a lot of the women in my mother's side of the family. So we never really studied. I think sometime around when I was in Form 1, my face started to get like hair, but like a 1 day. Like, it wasn't nothing too drastic, and I never really fret too much because I was also very hairy. Like, my hair on my head used to grow very thick, very long, and the hair on my skin used to grow, but not as drastic as it is now. So because I was young and I didn't care, I think because also I don't think Caribbean parents really fret about those things, especially since the women in my family had it. So there wasn't no pressure on like go find out why you have a beard. Like, it wasn't weird. And I actually remember that the guy that I had a crush on in Form 1, I remember him pointing it out and he'd play with it and like pull it. And I remember feeling insecure from that. So I would just pluck the hair, but it would just come back, but just the one hair for like a while, for like maybe 4 or 5 years, just the one hair. So fast forward to when I get to college, when I ended up this whole passing out thing, ended up in the hospital, whatever. Around that same time, I wasn't having periods, but I was really rarely ever having periods. And how I got my period was also a weird story. So like, I never really had a great relationship with periods, and I was a virgin. So I wasn't pregnant. I wasn't thinking nothing. I was just vibing. I don't care about my health enough. Like, I need to be better, even now. So anyway, so when I went to...
She was a virgin. She figured out she just had bad pussy, and she wasn't taking care of her health enough. And it just is what it is once you start to realize, oh, nah, she had to really take care of herself in order for this whole thing to work out.
It's just vibing. I don't care about my health enough. Like, I need to be better, even now. So anyway, so when I went to the doctor and they saw the cancer cells and thought what I was wrong with me and they sent me back, I had to go on birth control and other kind of medications for the...
She had to go on birth control and all type of medications. You know all that already.
Them to regulate something, for them to figure out something. I can't remember the logistics, but something along that lines. I think maybe it took like about a 2 weeks period. I don't know what made them change the test, but I remember having to do a separate test and having to like stay there, cleanse my body, eat specific things, and then drink water and pee and all kind of thing. I remember all of that to end up finding out I had PCOS. And then, like, it didn't mean anything. The words didn't mean anything. And they kind of explained to me. And it didn't mean much. And they also gave me like a little pamphlet. I think I Googled stuff. It didn't mean anything. But I was a Milnerite. I belong to the greatest institution to mankind, yo. Like, pick up Milner Hall, to be honest. They were toxic, but they were the best thing to happen to a lot of people. Because it's when I went back to Hall and, like, talked to the girls and them there and, like, went through the process of how many other people had it, how normal it was, and how to start feeling about it, is when it really, I think it did something good, but too good, because it got me so comfortable that I understood what I had, and I was also very insecure and didn't want to own up to my insecurities. So instead, I would carry over pride. Like, oh my God, I'm black. Oh my God, my ass fat. Oh my God, I'm so beautiful. Oh my God, oh my God. So all of that confidence kind of started to transcend within, and I made it okay to live comfortably. Okay, so this gets...
Hope you guys can understand that. She didn't care that her pussy was bad. She said she got a fat ass. I'm black. Niggas gonna fuck me. It is what it is. I'll get his bad pussy out. It's all love. But she knows her health. She needs to be eating better. See, when you start talking about PCOS, this is when you really start talking about diet, responsibility. Because when you really think about it, when you are well informed and you really think about it, and you see like Lizzo, go on that super weight loss journey. I tell y'all niggas, don't ever think she's doing it to try to look good. Yeah, that's gonna come with it if you're working out. But that bitch, you know, from what we would say, Lizzo got PCOS. You know? Anytime you see these bitches going on this holistic and dietary bullshit and health journeys and all this wild shit, don't think what you think, yo, my black sister's unhealthy and normal and they just need to take care of. No, there's some other shit, son. Some serious other shit that you be like, ain't no way she could keep that diet to try to keep that pussy right as she gets older and lazy. You know? But I mean, we did a night class, man. Maybe I'll stop this show and try to switch it up because I want to run out the time on my Gladiator. Let me get like a trending topic. Maybe we'll get some more other people in the chat room. But this was a good class. Because brothers need to understand the mental side and then the discipline side, also the diet with the discipline. You know, it's almost impossible for these bitches. Why? Many different reasons. Want to be down with the Joneses. You heard the excuses. Ain't no good food in the environment. Too tired to cook. Just everything wrong. Extra medications. It's the norm, King. It's the norm. Yeah. I'm gonna bring up some regular shows so we can hear these regular bitches talk. So we can just look at these bitches with their bids and everything and see who got what. Let's go.